Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day it is you are joining us. This is the Tulsa World Scene podcast that we have dubbed Fred for fairly random, entertaining dialogue. I'm here with my colleague Jimmie Tramel to talk about things that are coming up this week. Tulsa is a music city, has always been, even before people outside of Tulsa realized that, with the Cain's Ballroom and Bob Wills, as our colleague John Woolley famously says, Tulsa's where Western swing grew up. And then the Tulsa sound was very much a thing in the 70s, to the point that Eric Clapton co-opted it along with players from Tulsa. Jimmie, you've got something coming up about venues around town that's a little unusual.
Yeah, I thought this was a pretty cool idea by Grady Nichols, the saxophonist who's called Tulsa home since 1994. He has a song called Tulsa. He wanted to do a music video that kind of showcases every music venue in town because it's part of his history. So he's going to release that video on Friday. And man, it just struck me that we do kind of have, granted, we're not New York City or LA, but we have a really nice selection of, we've got the biggest room in town, which is BOK Center. We've got the historic building, Cain's Ballroom, that everyone knows about. And then in addition to that, we have the casino venues, which many bands or artists that otherwise would not play here now have a place to come play, plus Tulsa Theater, plus, every other place you can think of, in church studio, or even the performance hall at Woody Guthrie Center, or Mercury Lounge, or Vanguard, or the Shrine. We're just so lucky to have all these different spots for music. And I mean, I don't know if you or I have seen shows at all of them.
I can safely say no, but
do you have a show at any of them? Well, here's something I'd like to do sometime, is find a night when BOK, the three casino venues, Tulsa Theater, and Cain's all have a show the same night, and then hit 10 minutes of each show and hit all six. Like the Hideaway Pizza that has every slice is different. Just get a different slice of every venue and write a story about it. But
in Grady's video, how many places does he include, or have you had a chance to see it yet?
I'm such a sucker. I paused the video and wrote down everything I saw that I recognized. And in addition to the music venues, he threw in some Tulsa landmarks that aren't related to music, but they're still Tulsa. But I bet he stops outside at least 10 venues for this video, including the PAC, which he's played.
Right. And he's played the Maybe Center.
Maybe Center. I forgot about Maybe Center. That's right.
And two of I was just talking to somebody about this today. Two of the most landmark concerts that Tulsa has probably seen in the last 30 years took place at the Maybe Center. Frank Sinatra performed there in 1994. It was, I think, his next to the last concert that he ever did, or he did like maybe two after this, but after that he retired. And then in 2007, Luciano Pavarotti came to Tulsa for actually the second time, and performed at the Maybe Center, and that was his last concert. And earlier, the Italian opera singer Enrico Caruso performed at what's now the Tulsa Theater. It was then, I believe, Tulsa Municipal Hall or Tulsa Convention Hall in 1920. And it is rumored that he caught the cold that developed into the throat infection that killed him a year later.
Yeah.
during his time in Tulsa. So if you're an Italian singer, it's kind of see Tulsa and die, I think. But maybe that's not maybe that's not the thing we should pass on to the Convention and Visitors Bureau to focus on. But yeah, and there's been a lot of, there's places like the Guthrie Green.
Yes. Yep.
Which is becoming, especially during the summer, a concert venue. Utica Square becomes a concert venue during the summer with its summer's 5th night, which I think this is the 30th year for that. So, all right. Well, you mentioned when is that story running?
Friday.
You run Friday.
Same
Okay.
day the video is released.
Okay. Well, you mentioned the Hideaway Pizza, where every slice is different. Do they call that the Around the World? I think they do. But anyway, we've got this Sunday an interview with Rachel Cope, who is a Jinx, former Jinx resident, a native of Ada. She is the CEO of the 84 Hospitality Group, which opened Empire Slice Shop on 11th Street this week. She opened, this is like a slightly different concept of her Empire Slice house that she opened in 2020 out next to the Cain's Ballroom. The thing about that particular venue is that she opened it in early March of 2020. They were open for 5 days and then shut down for 7 months because of the pandemic. So, but they reopened and are going on. So she's got several restaurants in Oklahoma City, which is where she's based. And so, but this is what they call a hybrid counter service, where you order pizza by the slice. All pizzas start out 20 inches, so you're going to get a 10-foot, a 10-inch slice of pizza. She said each slice is as big as your face, no matter how big your face may be. Have you eaten at Empire Slice, either the house or the shop?
No, but I want to, based on your what you're talking about. Then I'm asking the magic question: do they have cup and curl pepperoni?
I did not. I have not yet sampled the wares for personal reasons that don't mean anything here. I wasn't able to eat today, but I do plan to go back. Something tells me that they probably do, but I'm not sure. That apparently is a the shape of the pepperoni is something of a deal breaker for you.
Well, I just wonder, is cup and curl making a comeback? Because I see more and more pizza places bringing the cup and curl back. And for people who don't know, it's the pepperoni that kind of curls up into a half ball, and it really gets more crisp than the other kinds of pepperoni. Don't you think?
Well, I think that's because it's, pardon me, it still has the casing on it, like a hot dog, and so that's what I believe causes it to do what it does, and that the casings do get crispier as they cook, and then it's got all the lovely grease in the center of it. But I've noticed more and more people mention that that's what they have. In as opposed to just saying they have pepperoni. They have pepperoni, and then they have cup and curl pepperoni. It is making a comeback. I know that places like Zaza's Pizza and Wings, that's what they use. Old World Pizza, that we did a review of a couple of weeks ago, down in Broken Arrow, that's what they use. So it's kind of making a comeback. I guess people are realizing, if you're going to have a pepperoni pizza, you might as well, go whole hog with it, I guess. So,
Do I really want to know what casing is made out of?
well, probably not.
Let's just leave it at that
Sometimes,
then. I'm good.
yeah, sometimes it is a what they call a natural casing, which means that it's probably some sort of intestine that they've cleaned and stuff. I know that every hot dog that you get at one point has to have a casing on it, just simply to make the shape of the
Mhm.
of the sausage. But it's if they leave it on, and sometimes it's a cellulose thing that you're not supposed to eat at all. And like you get like a summer sausage at, in the box with the weird cheeses at Christmas from the uncle that, that can't be bothered. And you have to peel that off to eat it, because you can't, if you try to eat that, it might as well.
Let
eat
me ask you
plastic.
something. Let me ask you something more appetizing.
Okay.
What is the deal maker for you on a pizza? Is it the crust? Is it the sauce? Or is it the toppings? Or the cheese?
For me, it's that it's all got to work together. I mean, I've had, I prefer a crust that's got a crisp and a chew to it. I'm not a huge fan of the soft, fold it up and try to eat it. Style, the old New York style, I guess is what you call it. But and I want to be able to, taste tomato and real spices rather than, dried oregano, which is, what we all kind of grew up on. So yeah, that's toppings are, I'm not a big it does need to be coated with stuff for me to be happy with it. So how about for you?
Well, I've noticed even like when people try to make pizza at home, which that's something you can never make as good as the pizza places can make. Just stop trying. Homemade is never as good as the pros do it. But I've noticed that, like, if you skimp on the cheese, which people do at home, it makes it a bad slice of pizza. But I'm with you. I think the crust is really important to me.
Yeah.
It can't just be, like a biscuit type bread or something. It can't be. It's got to be a good crust, and then beyond that, we can do some work and see. I can't go for the like Alfredo as a sauce and other stuff. Just give me the spicy red. Cain spicy red is amazing sauce.
Right.
Or just or I can do a barbecue chicken pizza, but no, I don't do like the exotic sauces.
I'm not a fan of two things on pizza. One is pineapple. The other is chicken, because number one, they'll always use white meat chicken. It will be pre-cooked when it goes on. So it's going to go into an oven 400 to 800 degrees. It's going to get dried out and it'll be like chewing on an eraser. Never been a fan of that. I don't mind the quote white pizza without the tomato sauce, but I'm with you. A real pizza has tomato sauce on it. I mean, the benchmark for pizza simplicity and also complexity is the pizza margherita, which is the crust. It is a tomato sauce. It is buffalo mozzarella cheese, white mozzarella cheese, and fresh basil. Everything's got to be perfect on that for it to be good. I mean, as someone said, bad pizza is still, pretty good. But I mean, for it to work, it's everything on it has to be just right, and has to be of high quality. And as Rachel the owner of Empire Slice House, said, the crust is all important. It's the foundation on which everything else rests. If you don't have a good crust, you're not going to have a good pizza. And so yeah, that's and I agree with you. I mean, I as somebody who's tried to make pizza at home, if you can rise to the level of a Domino's, that's pretty good. But it's better just to go to a real pizza place, of which Tulsa has a lot of good local pizza places. You don't need to visit a chain or the like. So, but yeah, no chicken, no pineapple. And if you put pineapple and chicken on pizza, there's something fundamentally unsound about you, I believe. But anyway.
I've come around to your way of thinking about chicken on pizza, because I used to get it a lot. And then I noticed it just doesn't have any flavor to it at all.
Yeah.
It's taking up space, but there's no flavor to this topic.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's I understand the rationale behind it, because most of the meats that go on pizza are pretty fatty. It's sausage, it's pepperoni, it's ham, it's
That's why
beef.
it's good.
That's why fat is flavor. That is why it is good. That is also why you shouldn't eat it, every day of the week. But it's a special treat. So treat yourself up. Treat yourself up right. Go to a local pizza joint and enjoy yourself. And get the cup and curl pepperoni and have yourself a time.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper. Well, speaking of time, I think we probably used up all of the wonderful time that our listeners have patiently shared with us, and we thank you for listening. Check out what we'll be doing in the Tulsa World, available at fine new sellers everywhere and at tulsaworld.com. As always, this podcast is available wherever, from whencever you pluck your pods. So check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever else they are. On behalf of my colleague, Jimmie Tramel, I want to thank you all for your time and patience, and we bid you a pleasant good day.
Behave.